Called it over at 4:30. Regular meeting minutes of July 1st.
I'll make a motion to approve those.
I'll second that. Any discussion? All those in favor? Refunds abatements. $424.21. The motion to approve.
I'll second that.
Discussion. All those in favor?
Um,
So next on the list is they're calling it a budget deficit mitigation agreement. We've been kind of discussing this for a while with Region 20, trying to figure out how to handle the projected, well, they're looking at up to $2.7 million deficit. Right now, I think it's like a 2.63 million. We're hoping it's going to decrease from there as things settle out from the end of the year. So what we kind of agreed upon was to pay this off over 3 years through our capital budget. That's what we put in our budget this year, was for this debt and the unpaid invoices.
more support.
Right. So we went back and forth over the language on this. I talked to our attorneys, Mike Ryback and Mike Ryback Jr. And there was some language that they wanted to have changed. And one thing I really wanted was not to exceed number in there. I don't want this to be open end to grow and grow without any further approvals. So there is a net to exceed in this. Also, I wanted this isn't complete yet because they haven't gotten all the invoices, but this is about 2.3 million in invoices. I want that attached to this agreement so people will know what they're paying back, what they're paying for. We met again today with the other three first selectmen and Dr. Villar. And there's some talk about an issue with the NBR minimum budget requirement. We feel, and the attorneys all feel, that this is the best way to handle the debt, other than going for a supplemental budget. If we went with a supplemental budget, it would have to be all paid this year. You couldn't put it out over 3 years. So we are also having a meeting on Thursday in Hartford with a member from the Department of Education to talk about this and talk about regionalization in the future because of how this one has worked or not worked in some cases. And we're looking for a little, maybe a little help too, maybe a waiver of the NBR for this year. Because something like this has never happened before in Connecticut. And so I really believe there wasn't much support from the Department of Education either. There wasn't much guidance. Apparently, some were told we couldn't even have a budget to start this new region. And that's how the monies came from the other two school districts, Litchfield and Wamoga. That's not the right way to do it. This should be not a 2-year plan. It should be probably closer to a 5-year. But so we want to talk to the representatives in Hartford on Thursday. I think it's going to be myself, Denise Raff, and Greg Acaba from Warren, and Dr. Villar, and probably the CFO head out there and have a conversation, and also see what they think of this idea on how to take care of this deficit. And this would have to go obviously through our board and then to the Board of Finance. They're meeting tonight, and then we go to a town meeting for approval. So the townspeople will have their say approving this. The thing is, the debt is there. it's gotta get paid.
So
How we do it.
I'm probably asking a question that's already been asked, but is this the first time in the state of Connecticut a merger like this is done?
I believe it's the first time two totally separate school districts merged
Merged
together.
together. So Hartford will hopefully give us a better idea going forward.
Well, I don't know if they're gonna be able to help us. We did ask for, or Senator Harding asked for 1.5 million, and it didn't go through. And I don't think we'll get anything monetary out of the state. It would be nice if they did. I think they kind of, if they want schools to regionalize, they gotta put the carrot out there.
Right.
You know, it doesn't make sense to regionalize when you fall into debt. And I can think of a number of small towns that have their own schools in this area that probably should regional at some point. And they're probably looking at this going, no, we don't want to do this.
Yes.
There's got to be a better plan.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about that, but also really try to pin down what the state can do for us. Whether it's waiving the MBR requirement, I doubt there's any monies available. I think it's all on us. But that's what we want to discuss in Hartford.
So to be clear, from the town perspective, we've already voted on the town budget, which was covering the payment of this.
Yeah.
So what is the other vote then going to be voted on?
Voting on approving this agreement on how to pay.
Okay.
We did, in capital, we did put in, monies for the, deficit, also money for the paid invoices that, Region 20 and Litchfield paid on Region 6's behalf.
Mhm.
We also put in money for the unpaid invoices on, Region 6. And we also put in for the pension.
So all that figure, is it written down someplace where it's either on the website so people can actually see what it,
The amounts that we
Yeah.
budgeted, it's all on the capital page.
okay,
And it's written out, each line item, there's one for, it's not both into one line item, it's separated.
separated.
As far as the pension goes, I'm gonna contact the attorney, pension attorney that we've used before to get us on the right track, to get, new trustees, for that pension so we can make decisions. Yes. Pretty soon, we're gonna have to make some changes on that pension. We need someone that has the authority to do it. Right now, there's nobody. I mean, we could entertain a motion to, and we have more questions on it, though, too. Entertain a motion to send this to the Board of Finance for their approval. It's my understanding, if they don't approve it, it doesn't go to the town meeting.
Well, we almost have to do that.
Yeah,
So I'll make a motion to send it to the Board of Finance and let them review it. I mean, they control the financing of the town. So they would be the one to
Yeah.
figure out how we're gonna pay it.
yeah, they have to approve any of the expenditures. And obviously, ultimately, it goes into the taxpayers' hands for approval. So,
So the other question is, can we incorporate this into our minutes?
yeah, you
So
could add it
somebody, because you know what,
online.
yeah, because
Perfect, yeah.
when you're dealing with the school budget, you're gonna get 1,000 phone calls.
What we could also do is post this as part of the Region 20 postings that we have already up there, including the budget and everything,
Just so people are aware of what's going on.
especially this.
And this is coming from like the lawyers who are involved in writing this?
The lawyer for Region 20, Matt Ritter, I believe he's the Senate Majority Leader in the state. He kind of drafted it. Then there was input mostly from the Rybacks, because they represent Litchfield and Morris. I think Chip Rohrbach for Goshen looked at it, and talked with Ritter and talked with Ryback and agreed to it. I think Warren, I don't think their attorney, I didn't hear anything from it. So it has been looked at by all the things involved.
And then you pushed to make sure it said to not exceed.
Yeah, and that's something, the Rybacks kind of mentioned in theirs, and like I said, I didn't want to be open-ended on this. You know, if we have to revisit it if it's sometime in the future, then we do, but I don't think we will have to. I think that we'll not exceed.
So my only question is, just clarifying the wording, I know it's, I'm assuming it's not fully final yet, but to not exceed 2.7 in fiscal years, listing out the 3 years versus over the course of the 3 years. So that it's not interpreted as 2.7 per year. I would just make sure that legally that's written correctly. Because that would open up your open-ended.
I see. During the fiscal years,
Like inclusive,
yeah,
of the fiscal years.
yeah. I mean, if there's minor, changes in language, we'll note that with each board before they find it.
Okay.
So that could
That's a
digest
lot,
them.
still. And this is a list of all of the expenses, but do we have whether they were paid or just all
are-
unpaid?
I'll have to, I don't want to say the
There's an
wrong
invoice
thing.
date and then a PO, but
I don't want to say the wrong thing, so I will double check on that. My understanding was unpaid. Basically, they had just maybe a spending freeze, but I really consider it more of a, freeze on paying bills. Then, of course, they get hit with, all those trees down on the property too, including on 2 of the shed roofs, for the, district office. And that's like that.
There's all stars on 7 2. Okay.
Somebody really wanted to get deep into this. And when you look at some of these charges, and they're not big charges, a lot of them.
Right.
But if somebody wanted to question what, these are telling what they were paid for. What was the item that they?
Yeah, that information is available. But given, I think it was, could be wrong, 600 or 900 line items.
I was gonna say, it's gotta be.
Yeah. It can happen, though. Like $4.52.
You look at it, but it is what it is. I mean,
Fortunately, a lot of the vendors are holding on, but they want to get paid. Like Allstar must have quite a bit out there. Oh, I see one just for 172,000.
Yeah. Things that were to be budgeted for, so.
Mhm.
Okay, yeah, you made them motion to,
yeah, send to the Board of Finance.
ready to go, I'll second that.
Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Um,
Correspondence, I didn't have much, just a little update, they're working on the new wall at the transfer station, it's, coming along quickly. They had it all torn down, so looking good. And water is hooked up at the transfer station, we have to work on getting some drawings for the new bathroom. And, love to get that done for the fall.
An update on relining, what,
Not yet. Haven't heard yet.
they literally don't realize it's a two-way street. It's crazy.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like, Looking Glass Hill Road,
Yeah,
it's, racetrack. Double check. I don't know if you had a chance to see the fireworks, 4th of July, or 5th of July, I think it was.
very nice.
Very nice. Some discussion, maybe, I know the Litchfield 250th committee is kind of reaching out, wondering if, perhaps working together on fireworks for next year. I think our location is great. I think it allowed a lot of people to view it up on the soccer field and the parking lot and the lake and over on 209. So we may have to think about that for next year. Anything else?
Back a couple months ago, or a month ago, somebody presented us with an ordinance of moorings.
Warrants, and that kind of got put on the back burner, but we definitely gotta get that to the attorneys for the language.
Did it go to the ordinance committee?
It did, and they were questioning the language for people that have a leased land to own the houses on
Oh,
it.
yeah.
The White Memorial, also how it affects like the condo associations that have common property. So I will get that to the attorneys. This Region 20's been taking up a lot.
No, I understand.
A lot of time.
You know, some things kind of get lost and
Yeah. I will add that to the Lane White Road. And also came up, we talked a while back about increasing the abatement for the fire company volunteers and the EMS.
I thought that was,
We never ended up getting the final say on that. And, Lou came in the other day and he was asking about it, so I asked him to give me all the information that he had. And perhaps that can be, any increase can be put on the second payment of taxes in January, taken off that.
but I thought that was a state.
Well, our ordinance allowed us to go up to whatever the max the state
Right.
had. We did-
Whatever the state allowed.
Yeah, we just kind of questioned, is that language to allow us to make the decision to bring it up to,
Oh,
say, 1,500 or 2,000?
whatever it was, right.
So I'll get that clarified before we can work on that next meeting.
Yeah, I'm feeling entitled to it, but,
Yeah, I mean, it's these days for volunteers, and speaking of that, I got put on a committee, for the regional EMS committee, in Litchfield. We're gonna look at perhaps different ways of providing EMS in a regional manner in our area, which, Litchfield, Bantam, Morris, just because of the turnover in volunteers, getting enough volunteers, and it's just getting very difficult for all departments. So I'll be on that committee. I'll report back from that whenever we start moving on. I think Ryan Littman was on that from Bantam, John Pablinski from LBA in Litchfield. Morisani, the selectman in Litchfield, John Horn in Litchfield, he's on the, I think the fire commission. And then there'll be a member of the Board of Finance from Morris and a member of the Board of Finance from Brookfield. I think that's all. Okay, anything else?
No, I'm good.
Anyone online? Seeing none. Anyone in the crowd? Is there a motion to adjourn at 4:51?
Go ahead, I'll second it.
Again,
All those in favor?
um,
Thank you.